Hi guys, it's me again doing my weekly video. I've actually had a pretty eventful week. I don't know, so I'm sure some of you saw my Facebook um, post, but Kaysen, the the little guy, managed to break his arm at school. So um, we've had a little bit of a tumultuous time with that. Basically, what happened was they were on a field trip at school and they went to Animal Ark and he was playing on the playground there and he did not fall off the equipment. I got the actual story from his teacher. He was running up the stairs to the top part of the playground equipment and he slipped on the bottom stair or two, fell forward and hit his shoulder, his right shoulder, on the top step. And so we went to literally 4 different hospitals, 2 different urgent cares, and 2 different emergency rooms. The first day was a terrible shit show. It was an awful experience. We at first, when I got home, it took me a while to figure out what the issue was because he was holding the bottom part of his arm. I'm sure it had something to do with nerves or something, the nerve endings or something. But I started trying to rotate him and move him around, and I realized that his actual shoulder was huge and swollen up, so I thought it was maybe dislocated. So I took him to an urgent care. We sat through a whole bunch of stuff. They weren't able to do an x-ray there, so they sent us over to a hospital called Northern Nevada, which is really close to the house, and we sat there for 5 hours. While they brought in people from the streets that came in straight into the back, we sat there with him crying out in pain every few seconds. For hours we sat there. And got to be about, 3 or 4 hours past dinner time. And finally I was like, look, I have to feed this kid. So I lied and told him I would be back. And we left. And we went home and I gave him some ibuprofen. And I fed him dinner. And I put him to bed. And the next morning I went to an urgent care that did have x-ray capabilities with Renown. Renown Urgent Care was such a night and day different experience. They took the x-ray, told me it was broken, sent me over to Renown Children's. Again, wonderful people there. So if you guys are in the area and you have a choice, in the Northern Nevada hospital seems tempting because it's all brand new and everything is great there. I promise you it's not. They're terrible people. The nurse was rude. She's talking to him like he's stupid and deaf. And I told her he's autistic. If you don't know how to communicate with him, I can communicate with him for you. She ignored me and started shouting at him, "Where does it hurt?" in his face, which pissed me off originally. I'm like, okay, we're here. I guess we'll stick it out. And I sat there for as long as I did because I kept thinking, well, they're going to call us next, so I guess we'll stick it out. And finally, I just had enough. Renowned Children's literally got us right in. I mean, right into a room. There was no one in the waiting room sitting around in pain, and there were people in the rooms in back, but they were taking care of them. And they were sweet to him. They didn't freak him out. They were just awesome. And so they got him up in a sling and decided that we're just going to leave him in a sling because it's an upper arm break. They found a bone cyst during all of this on the x-rays, and at first we're a little bit freaked out that it might be cancerous, so that freaked me out again. But his pediatric orthopedic surgeon told me that it's actually pretty common in kids. They never find them in adults, bone cysts, so it's something that should clear up on its own. And the only time we have to really worry about maybe a surgery is if he breaks it again. They might want to put pins or something in right there until it clears itself up because it creates a weak spot in the bone. So bottom line is he does not have to have surgery. He has to stay in his sling for 4 weeks or so. They did say that for the wedding, which is like just a few days before his next appointment to check up to see if it's all healed. They said we could take out the sling and he can go swimming. Just watch him and make sure he's not dealing with a lot of pain or anything. So that's good. He doesn't have to stay out of the swimming pool, because I know that would have been a little bit of an issue. But so all that is good. During this same time, David, who is going to be giving me away at the wedding, and remember I mentioned he's my terrible ex's brother, but he's more like my brother than his. He ended up in the hospital because he had a hernia surgery and they botched it at a Las Vegas hospital. So I'm helping him find a lawyer for that. He was in and out of the hospital, and finally he's doing better because he went to a different hospital the third time, and they figured out what the problem is. He's been able to keep down food. So a lot of stress, but a lot of blessings all at once, because some good things have happened along the way. So we had that going on, and I don't know if anyone saw my post, but I had a court date with my lawyers. Now, this is for the actual 3 felony charges, the ones with Washoe County that I got originally. The Vegas court date will be coming up here soon. Vegas takes a little bit longer, but as per the judge's words on my court date, my records are officially sealed. In all those cases, I'm no longer a convicted felon. I no longer have to say I'm a felon to people on job applications. It will no longer come up on a background check. So yay for me. That's the biggest accomplishment ever. We've been working on this for months. It has costed almost $7,000 in payments, but it's because there was a lot of charges. There were charges that didn't stick, that I still had to get cleared off of my background record because they were still showing up as almost like not active, but like I was charged with this stuff. And so we want that to all be cleaned up and cleared up when it's all said and done. I haven't heard from the Realtors Board yet, but my broker called them and said that they are still processing. It's because I did have to send one little payment thing that I forgot or didn't realize it wasn't on the list that they needed. So I sent that immediately, and I'm waiting on them to give me a final say. But so far, it's all on track and everything is looking good. And of course, my wedding dress came, so yay. It's bigger than it was in the picture even, so I feel like an absolute princess when I put it on. I had to get the back adjusted a little bit because I have a man-sized rib cage, so it fit fine in the waist, which is where I was worried about. And going around my big, thick ribs, see, like, that's rib right there. And going around my rib cage, the panel didn't want to completely close, so I had the panel removed, and I'm just doing the back as a lace-up corset. I switched the ribbon to a longer blue ribbon so that it matches my colors, and everything is great with that too. I will have, of course, pictures for you guys. Now, one of you guys requested some young pictures, childhood pictures of me. I'm having my sister send over a couple. I will include them at the end of this video for you guys to look at. I'm sure we have more. I have some books here, so at some point I'll go through what I have here and I'll find some more for you guys, but my sister is supposed to send me at least a handful of them so that I can send those to you guys. And then after mine, I'm going to send you maybe just a couple of Cash when he was younger. I have 1 or 2 of him as a baby. I'm not going to include the one when you can still see his ponytail because it has his first ex-wife in it, and that's icky. But I will send the one where he was like 13 or 14 and he has like a mullet that's been growing out. So, and that's probably about a year before I met him, because when I met him he had a full ponytail and everything was all the same length in the back. But I'll send you his long mullet picture too, and I'll put those after mine. I'll do the mullet picture first so you know when the start of the ones of him. Okay, and I'm just going to do like maybe 2 or 3 of him too. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for all your concern and your kind words in my comments. I also, if you guys could do me a favor and just send some prayers for my cousin Christy, I would really appreciate it. She's a beautiful person. She always works hard for people. She puts everybody else first. She puts her whole heart out there. She has bailed me out more times than I can count out of tough situations when she had the means. And basically, her car broke down, and then some a-hole that was posing as eBay Motors scammed her out of $2,200, which was her money she had set aside for a new car. There is hopefully maybe a possibility for her to have a vehicle, but it's a 50-50 right now. So if you guys could just, for all those who do send kind thoughts, good feelings and prayers, please could you do that for her? She really could use all the extra help in the universe. She deserves for something good to happen to her, and I really just want, to put some people in her corner, because I think it's about time that she had some good luck. It's really not fair. She loses her sister and then her mom, which was tough on me, but I'm sure even tougher on her. And it was her sister, then her mom, and then her car. She also has some other things that I'm not going to say publicly, but that weren't easy on her heart. And I think that she deserves just a little bit of support. So anyone who feels like doing that, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and you have a great day, have a great week, and I will see you next week. I love you all, and we'll talk soon.